Hello everyone, it's Nen from Insightful Vibrations. Thank you so much for tuning into this channel. Thank you for liking and sharing our videos and for subscribing to the channel. This is your forecast for the week of June 12th to 18th, 2017. And we will begin with a general overview for all signs, and then we will go into each zodiac sign's potential using the Lenormand Gilded Reverie deck. Well, astrologically and otherwise, we have a much better week. We start off with Venus in Taurus. Venus, of course, rules Taurus and is very comfortable and happy there. And so you can see all kind of Venetian things really being sweet. And that includes money-making potential and romance. So when it comes to romance, people who are looking for more reliable relationships or to solidify a relationship, to create more long-lasting bonds, more sensual experiences, this is definitely a week for that. So be confident that you'll be charming enough, because we also have the moon trining Venus. And when the moon is in a trine configuration with Venus, we see a lot of emotion, but we also see a lot of charm and beauty in people. We see kindness in people. We see generosity as well, and, you know, a softness about people as well. But it can also be good for artistic and creative and sports and politics and those other kinds of endeavors that really require more right brain activities. Now we've also got Saturn squaring Chiron, which means that people will tend to be critical this week, which doesn't really jive well with Venus and Taurus, but all you have to do is be extra diplomatic. Okay, so there's no point in holding back on criticism where it's warranted, but you have to be diplomatic, because we also have aspects to Neptune where it's going to make us very sensitive this week. So we'll have our antennas up high, and you know, we'll feel a lot that is not even said. So even the slightest criticism will seem to be turned inward, and so you want to deliver it with care and respect. And of course, we also have Saturn in a trine configuration with the North Node, which means anyone who wants to travel, engage in sports or politics will also be blessed this week. So I think it's really, really wonderful. We also have Jupiter trine Mercury, and Mercury is in Gemini right now, and that's a happy place because Mercury rules Gemini. So we can look for an increase in communications. We can actually look for an increase in the quality of communications as well, and the ability to see the bigger picture and sway people to our point of view with words. So if you're using words for healing, such as in affirmations, or you're delivering, you know, positive, you know, sort of life-affirming, you know, sentences to people for healing purposes, this could work out very, very well this week. And if you're writing or communicating or doing presentations or giving sales pitches, this is a wonderful, wonderful time for that as well. And now we also have, you know, the Sun in Gemini, which is, you know, bringing out childlike feelings in all of us. It's bringing out that joviality and sometimes even duality. So you may find that people switch gears really quickly this week because they're, you know, trying to do the Gemini thing really unknowingly or unwittingly. And the Sun is trine Jupiter, which means that we are going to be happy-go-lucky. So that just adds to that good, fortunate, generous sort of feel. And some of you who are trying to become famous may actually succeed. Now, with the Sun squaring Neptune, some people may feel not only overly sensitive, but also a little insecure. And then we have, you know, some aspects between Saturn and Pluto that may cause a little bit of, you know, issue with coping with your own power. So, you know, don't overuse your power if you're in a situation where you're in a power position over someone else or something else. But also don't underuse it. Try to achieve a balance where you're exercising your duties, but always with respect and just the right amount of authority. With the Sun squaring, the Sun opposing Saturn, we may sort of feel some long outstanding issues finally have to be dealt with. Okay, it's no more procrastination, no more extensions, no more, and we have to just play on the energy we have this week, because it will be high energy. And instead of, you know, bouncing around a beach volleyball, maybe we can just put our nose to the grindstone for one more week, and really, you know, make good on obligations and promises that we should have done a long time ago. But the week looks absolutely fabulous. It looks, you know, charming and friendly, and there's a lot of beauty, and business opportunities as well will be abounding. Just watch your words. Make sure you're sensitive to others around you, and you should have a wonderful week. So now, going on to your individual sign. Okay, Taurus, you have an amazing week coming up as well, but you seem to be so down for some reason, some of you. I feel that with the Man card, this is representing a week for romance, and I've just finished my astrology forecast for all of us, and Venus is in Taurus. That's your ruler in your sign, and I can't say enough about how fortunate that is for you for love and money endeavors. So let's get to it. I do feel that with the Man and the Cross and the Tower, that those three cards essentially may usher in romance into your life. This person could be a person who's very spiritual, who works in, you know, spiritual places or religious places, who, you know, really, you know, is just a very good, deep down person. And then the Tower card also shows that this person may work in, you know, legal or government institutions, maybe a lawyer, maybe a policymaker, maybe a politician, maybe a paralegal. I don't know. There's so many things that we could say here. Maybe a law clerk for the court. I don't know. But in essence, the Tower is basically showing this gentleman as you know, someone, you know, very well, you know, prominent and very educated as well. I do feel with the Ring, card number 25, there may be some commitment to those of you who have already been seeing someone. Now, this could be, in a personal sense, a proposal of marriage. It could be an actual wedding if you've had one planned, and or, you know, sometimes these could be elopements, even with the ship below it. It definitely could be. So there may be some real bonding this week. But in a business sense, it talks about solidifying arrangements, making contractual agreements. And there are some new starts. With the Cross is always a new start as well. It's very transformational energy. Now, the clouds there are, you know, talking about, excuse me, confusion, you know, some doubt of some kind, you know, maybe some setbacks. Possibly a delay in something, but remember that worry is like a prayer for what you don't want. So the more you stew and worry and agonize over something that hasn't even happened, the more you're likely to manifest it, believe it or not. So I do feel that you should just, you know, not worry. I think, you know, just train yourself. Every time you worry, you're going to say, nope, that really wasn't my thought, and send it off to a parallel universe and disown it. Let it float off into the ionosphere, and you know, free you of that apprehension. Now, with the Ship, card number 3, and the House, card number 4, this could very well likely represent either a home or business relocation, because we also have the Tower on the other end of the Ship. So it could be a home or personal relocation of some kind. Now, if you're actually moving, that's probably what this represents here. But it could also mean that there's some, you know, listing of a property, because we've got the Ring, so there's some commitment, some contractual commitment. So maybe you're listing a property for sale or purchasing another one. I think that's wonderful. There may be some concerns and setbacks, or maybe some delays, but I feel that overall the reading is very positive, and I think you should have a wonderful week. But before I get to my closing, I'd just like to say that I forgot in my general astrology forecast to talk about the most important thing this week, which is that on the 18th of June, Neptune is going into retrograde motion, and that will just accentuate how sensitive and empathic we are. It will also help us develop our intuitive and psychic powers. It will help us, you know, to also be more deceived, unfortunately, because that is, you know, the planet of illusion. Neptune is that watery planet that, you know, it is like looking through water. It's like gazing through water, and everything seems a little bit distorted, and you're not really sure sometimes what it is or what can happen of it. So I do feel that with that in mind, you need to be careful, because this is going on until November 23rd, 2017. Other than that, Taurus, I think you're going to have a fabulous week. That's my bet. Take care.